Tigers are often considered the lords of all species, majestic and ferocious. Known for their powerful hunting instincts, they are even seen as enemies of many animals, including dogs. But today, we bring you a heartwarming story that challenges everything you thought you knew about these magnificent creatures. This isn't just a story about survival. It's a story of resilience, love, and the incredible bonds that transcend the boundaries of species. But it starts with heartbreak. Deep in the forests of China, 3 tiny tiger cubs were born into a world of danger. Their mother, a fierce protector, did everything she could to keep them safe. But even her strength wasn't enough to fend off the greed of humans. Illegal animal traffickers, driven by a market hungry for exotic animals, ripped the cubs from her care. In a heart-wrenching twist, the mother didn't survive the encounter. The cubs, barely alive and too young to fend for themselves, were rescued by a wildlife protection zoo. But saving their lives was only the first step in a battle against time and despair. When the cubs arrived at the zoo, they carried not only physical wounds, but emotional scars as well. They missed their mother, her warmth, her protection, and her presence. Without her, they refused to eat, growing weaker by the day. Their cries of longing pierced the hearts of everyone who heard them. The staff tried everything: bottle feeding, warmth lamps, even playing recordings of a mother tiger's soothing growls. Nothing worked. Time was running out, and the cubs were slipping further into despair. Desperation often leads to innovation, and in this case, it led to a radical idea. One zookeeper suggested something unthinkable. What if they found a surrogate mother from another species? What if a dog could raise the cubs? It seemed impossible. A dog, known as man's best friend, caring for predators. Most of the staff doubted it could work. They feared the dogs would run in terror, or worse, the tiger cubs might harm them. But the zoo had no other options. They decided to try. The moment the first dog stepped into the enclosure, something magical happened. Instead of fear, she showed curiosity. Instead of running, she approached the cubs gently, sniffing them. Then, with the patience only a mother could have, she lay down beside them, inviting them to feed. The bond was instant. The cubs, who had been starving and heartbroken, found comfort in the dog's warmth and milk. Over the next few days, the mother dogs alternated shifts, caring for the cubs as if they were their own. The transformation was astounding. The cubs began to eat, to play, and even to purr contentedly. As the days turned into weeks, the tiger cubs grew stronger. But with growth came new challenges. Their playful instincts sometimes got too rough for the dogs. The zookeepers monitored their interactions closely, stepping in when necessary to keep everyone safe. Despite these challenges, the bond remained unbreakable. The mother dogs, with their unyielding patience and love, continued to nurture the cubs, teaching us all an important lesson about the power of kindness. Months turned into years, and the tiger cubs grew into majestic predators. Yet, even as they towered over their adoptive mothers, they never forgot the love and care they received. In their eyes, these dogs were not just nannies, they were family. Attempts to separate them failed. The tigers refused to eat, and the dogs showed signs of anxiety. The zoo made a decision that would defy conventional wisdom. They allowed the dogs and tigers to live together as a blended family. As the story continued to unfold, it became evident that the bond between the tigers and their surrogate mothers was unlike anything anyone had ever seen. The tigers, now young adults, exhibited behaviors rarely observed in the wild. They were more playful, often seen nuzzling and gently licking the dogs that had raised them. The dogs, in turn, seemed to have adopted a sense of pride in their unconventional role, barking protectively if anyone approached the tigers too suddenly. The staff marveled at how the dogs' natural nurturing instincts had transcended the boundaries of species. The relationship between the tigers and the dogs also highlighted a profound connection between all living creatures. Visitors to the zoo were captivated by this extraordinary family, often moved to tears by the sight of a powerful predator showing tenderness to a small dog. It was a reminder that love and care could bridge even the most unthinkable divides. As the tigers grew older, their strength and size became more pronounced, yet their demeanor towards their adoptive mothers remained gentle and respectful. The staff had initially feared that as the tigers matured, their instincts might override the bond they had formed. But to everyone's amazement, the tigers continued to defer to the dogs. They would wait patiently for the dogs to finish eating before taking their turn, and often sought out the dogs' companionship even when there were other tigers nearby. The bond was tested one fateful day when one of the dogs fell ill. The zoo's veterinary team worked tirelessly to save her, And during this time, the tigers displayed an unusual sense of anxiety. They paced near the dog's enclosure, refusing food and growling softly, as if expressing their concern. When the dog finally recovered and was reintroduced to the group, the tigers greeted her with visible joy, gently rubbing their heads against her as if to say, "We missed you." Over time, this extraordinary story began to attract attention from around the world. Filmmakers, journalists, and animal behaviorists flocked to the zoo to document the unique relationship. The zoo staff, initially hesitant about the publicity, realized the importance of sharing this story. It wasn't just about the tigers and dogs. It was about the universal need for connection, compassion, and understanding. The story inspired many to think differently about the relationships between humans and animals, as well as the responsibilities we have toward protecting wildlife. This remarkable family also became a symbol of hope for conservation efforts. The zoo used their story to raise awareness about the dangers of illegal wildlife trafficking and the importance of preserving natural habitats for species like tigers. Visitors were encouraged to contribute to conservation programs, and many left with a newfound appreciation for the interconnectedness of all life forms. As the years went by, the tigers continued to grow, eventually reaching their full size and strength. Yet, even as they became the embodiment of power and grace, their affection for their adoptive mothers never waned. The sight of a massive tiger gently playing with a small dog was a daily reminder of the extraordinary capacity for love and empathy that exists in the animal kingdom. Today, the tigers and their adoptive mothers remain together, their story serving as a beacon of hope and inspiration. It reminds us that love knows no boundaries. It doesn't matter if you're a tiger or a dog, human or animal. Love has the power to heal, to unite, and to change lives. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs a little hope today. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more stories that celebrate the beauty of our world, because sometimes the most ferocious hearts are the ones filled with the most love.